As I said in previous lessons, divergence is great, but sometimes it is hard to spot because when you look for many different things, you look for some breakouts, you look for signals from your trading strategy and so on, sometimes you may forget to check if there is some divergence, or maybe you even do not have a specific oscillator on the chart and you simply miss it. Maybe you are switching between time frames, so you are looking for best setups, you are looking at 1 hour time frame, 4 hour, and so on. You are looking at different pairs, different instruments. It's easy to get lost with all that information and forget about divergence. That's why I recommend to use divergence tools. These are very simple tools that mark divergence on the chart, and in that lesson I will give you a few examples of tools that can be used to spot divergence. First, let's start from MetaTrader. Later we will move on to other platform. MetaTrader, this is MetaTrader 4, and if you Google divergence tool, RSI divergence tool, MACD divergence tool for MetaTrader 4, you will find many indicators that will help you to spot divergence. In that example, you can see that I have RSI divergence. If I go to option, you can see that you can specify the period for the RSI. I usually go with 7, but that's what we have. We have our divergence marked on the chart. So we have divergence over here, divergence over here. So you can see that's pretty simple tool, very helpful. Another tool, MACD divergence. So you can see at the bottom MACD. So this is a standard MACD with marked divergences. So we have our bullish and bearish divergences marked on the chart. And yeah, that's similar to RSI. You can go to options, you can specify standard parameters for this MACD, and this tool will mark divergences on chart and on oscillator. So very helpful in trading because you see that there is a possible divergence. If you want to use other oscillator, because at the moment I showed you RSI and MACD, but maybe you prefer stochastic, maybe you prefer some other oscillator, simply Google it and you should find something similar. Now let's move to TradingView. So we have our TradingView platform, and similar story is with that platform. You have many custom indicators made by users. Simply go to indicators and search for indicator that you want. So in that case, let's say MACD divergence, and you can see we have some MACD divergence tools. There are more than one, so you have to check few of them and find the one that works best for you. Let's try with RSI. Again, few different tools that help you to mark divergence on chart, maybe stochastic. Also some tools that mark divergence based on stochastic. So you can see nothing hard over here. There are many different custom tools. In most cases, they are free. If you are using different platform than MetaTrader and TradingView, then simply Google if there are some divergence tools for your platform. But from my experience, almost every platform has some divergence tools that you can use, and that makes trading much easier. As I said, sometimes you may get lost with all that information from different charts, different time frames, and that divergence tools will mark a divergence on the chart and on the oscillator. In the end, one more tip: if you are using these divergence tools, they mark possible divergences. But it's your job as a trader to confirm that yes, in fact, that's a divergence, because sometimes this tool will mark divergence that is on the border. Maybe it's not even the correct divergence, but most I would say 8 out of 10 times these tools are correct. but there is some margin of error, and you should remember about that. Do not follow that blindly, that there is an indication from that tool that there is a divergence, so that divergence is correct. It's your job to confirm that in fact there is a divergence. Treat these tools as helpers. So these are little helpers that are pointing you, hey, there is a possibility that there is a divergence over here.